July 9th, 1980, evening session continued.
एवढं मोठं ग्रंथ बोलत आहे यात तुला ज्ञान नाही म्हणते म्हणजे काय माणूस आहे.
He is under the impression that as you have written that book, you are Jnani. So if you say that he is surprised.
Upon the necessity of coming in to the realized spiritual master's physical presence as a necessary prerequisite of being able to make the transition between the concepts that he presents through his verbal teaching and being founded in that intuition that is, the point and meaning of that teaching. Maharaj didn't seem to say that, and yet on the other hand, when you read our master's teaching, must be Maharaj talking. I don't use the words in English translation. We very much want to be in his company, and there certainly is something very enlivening, about that presence. Does he feel that is important or essential?
ते सत्संगाबद्दल विचारत आहेत की ज्ञानी पुरुषाच्या सत्संगामध्ये राहिल्याने आध्यात्मिक काही लाभ होतो का? He also says that some very advantageous to get rid of all your doubts. That's why the question and answer that is required. That's why he all the time wants you to ask questions. Otherwise, if you keep the doubts with you, they will go with you. So this is the place where you can get rid of all concepts.
चंदनाच्या दादाला चंदनाचा आवाज होतो.
He says that sandalwood tree in a jungle, the sandalwood tree is there. It's a fragrance. It has this fragrance.
Oh, I know as well.
Now, trees which are nearby that tree, sandalwood tree, they also have the same smell. So,
Even though they're not sound.
yeah, it is like that. Proximity.
आता 6 महिने हे काम करणं 6 महिन्यांतर करतो. त्यांनी करावं.
तुम्ही शेती नाही.
शेतामध्ये सांगितलं तुमचं काम सुटल्याने त्याला पण सध्या पैसे खर्च मध्ये काय करतो निधी शिल्लक अशोच लागले निधी शिल्लक लावून त्यांनी बघला म्हणजे काय करून त्यांचे मंडळ की कुठं त्याच्याची निर्माणाची अगोदर बघितलं बरोबर निधी तरी खर्च करून
It's a good seeker comes, he will talk. Otherwise, he has no interest whatsoever in talking. He will not anyone to talk and annoy him because that time is over. He's no more interested. He also referred to his son-in-law who passed away recently. He says, "I want to remain in this state."
म्हणतो मला स्वतः 1030 वर नाही घालता विचार होतं काय स्वतःबद्दल स्वतः कुठल्या लोकांना दुखवायचं नाही. दुखवलं गेलं त्याच्यामध्ये स्वार्थ असलं पण दुखवलं जातं. ज्याच्याकडे आपला स्वार्थ काय ना तर कसं दुखवणार. बरोबर हा सिद्धांत कसा आहे, ज्याच्याकडे आपला काहीतरी स्वार्थ असेल मग दुखवलं जातं ना. तर दुखवणं कधी कोणाकडे माझं काय स्वार्थ नाही. बोलायला बोललं काय होणार त्यांचं ते होतं तर होणारच आहे. काय बोला एक पत्र बोला पत्र आलं एक अमेरिकन मुली ते नेहमी पाठवते. काय म्हणतो आपल्या विषयात झालेला तो काय सांगतो तेव्हा आपण तुम्ही करू मागतो. तो पुष्कळ आले जवळ आहे तू तुला सांगतो ते. आणि तो म्हणाला आपलं जे शिकवण अंगात मिळवायची असेल तर लोकांचे सहवास कमी करायला पाहिजे, एकट्यानेच असायला पाहिजे. सध्या त्याच्याकडे एक म्हणजे त्याचं कुटुंबाचं पहिल्यांदा म्हणजे आपली शिकवणूक त्याला प्राधान्य देतोय, नंतर कुटुंबाचं जे आहे त्याच्या जबाबदारी आणि मग त्याचा जो धंदा आहे तेवढं. म्हणून जास्ती ओळखी करू इच्छित नाही म्हणतो. आणि दुसरं म्हणजे महाराजांकडे असं आहे प्रत्येक लोक आपल्या कल्पना लढवत असतो धर्माच्या नावाने. महाराज त्याला तिकडे थांबवतात आणि आतमध्ये हाकलून देतात, स्वतःमध्ये हाकलून देतात त्याला. आणि बाकीचे लोक धर्माच्या नावाने बाहेरच चालले. बायका ते सांगत होता बायकांना 8 वर्ष आता आत्मज्ञानाचे प्रामाणिक राहून खेळ सोडून आत्मज्ञानाचे प्रामाणिकपणा राहून देव सोडण्याचा वेळा करू. काहीतरी लाभ आहे मिळते असं असेल त्याचा अगर प्राण मरतो. आत्मज्ञानाचे प्रामाणिक राहून सहजापणे खेळ सोडले. आपण ज्ञानाच्या अन्य देव धर्म काही नाही. आपण जगाचा आधार आहे त्यालाच कळणार. तो प्रामाणिकपणे आत्मज्ञानाला बनला. तो विचार म्हणून दाखवताना जगा एवढं दाखवणार, आणखी मोठं दाखवणार, आणखी बारीक होता मुंगी एवढं दाखवणार, तुला एवढं दाखवणार. आपण या सगळ्याचे फक्त ज्ञानानं मला एवढे दाखवणार आणि जगा त्यापेक्षा मोठे दाखवणार. पण ते आत्मरूप आहे एवढी आत्मज्ञान. He said some ladies had come, what you refer to probably. Some ladies had come here, he told them something. And those ladies have been going to a spiritually well-known person.
Spiritually what?
Well-known person who also expounds knowledge for a number of years. He's also a professor.
In Bombay?
Yeah. In the suburbs of Bombay. So Maharaj said, it's rarely anyone who is very honest to oneself. Very honest to oneself that he will expound knowledge. First of all, one has to be very honest to oneself. And then that one should expound knowledge. This is rarely done. Normally one expounds knowledge with a view to getting something, acquiring something. He says, what is that self? But that one has to abide in that self If you want to see its expanse, the entire world is the expanse. Because of that self, its expression is the entire world. At the same time, the tiniest of the tiny is also that self, like an ant, like an atom. That's also the self.
Sometimes called a mustard seed in the heart.
Yeah. तुला एवढेच म्हणतोय.
बीज गुणावर केला एवढा आहे. आणि रूप दर्शनामध्ये जगापेक्षा मोठा आहे. बीज गुणावर केला एवढा आहे.
That seed beingness is like that sesame seed, very tiny. But its expression is the manifest word. All the world is due to this seed I amness. This touch or pinprick of I amness.
तेलकट आत्मज्ञान विश्वरूपाला आत्मपर्यंत करून विश्वरूपाला आत्मपर्यंत करून तेलकटपणा तेलकटपणा प्रेमा पचास ज्ञान बनतो कोण आहे असलेलं त्याला लागत नाही. त्यामध्ये नाही पचास.
A sesame seed contains oil or grease, oil, fat. You know, fatty oil contains. What is that fatty oil? It is the very source of love. He said, it is so, such a potential is there. Having provided that oily stuff, or rather that in the form of love, to the entire world, it remains in that seed I am. The leftover is this. Having provided love or oil to the entire manifest world, the remnant is left over in that I am.
शुद्ध सत्व महत् तत्व शुद्ध सत्व महत् माया शुद्ध सत्व
That pinprick or touch of I amness is the quintessence of all essences. Quintessence of all essences is that touch I amness, that pinprick.
नाम प्रश्न केला तुम्ही बोलतो की लोकांना कळत नाही ज्यांना कळत नाही त्याचं काय त्यांना तर मला मला कळलं की त्याला कळतं.
If anybody claims to have gained the knowledge, and if he is worried about himself as to what will happen to him, cannot be considered as a jnana.
वाक्य प्रमाण प्रोडक्ट माझ्याकडे भांडवल त्यांनी काय करत तेच आपण एवढं वाटतं. संकोच स्वीकारल्यानंतर जगातल्या कोणत्याही पंथाची किंवा चालूची संताची डुप्लिकेट क्रिया निघत म्हणजे तो कसा वाक्य म्हणून आपण तसा वागतो.
One must have firm abidance in or faith in the words of the Guru. Whatever I say. He said, here I do not repeat or imitate what other gurus or sages so-called they are doing.
दोन-तीन मिनिट सवाल काय
पुढे घेतली
आता याचं औषध आहे
2-3 मिनिटं
चालवलं.
I am not championing any religion.
उनकी खोज नहीं, उनकी मम्मी ब्रह्मा हमको खोज नहीं.
I have no stance or pose for anything. Not even that I am a man or a woman.
जी पोच गेली त्याच्या पश्चात गुलामगिरी केली होती.
The moment you accept any pose or stance, you'll have to take care of that by following certain disciplines related to that pose.
तो असा म्हणतो तो असा आहे तसं आहे. त्याच्याकडे मी लक्ष दिलेलं नाही. माझ्याकडचा मी कसा एवढं
I have paid no attention to whatever other people have been saying. I abide in the self only.
त्यातली क्रिया त्यातले साधन त्यातले कर्म चुकीच आहे नाही म्हणत नाही.
I don't criticize, whatever disciplines or the actions other people or sages are doing. I have nothing to say about that. No comments.
प्रत्येक फुलांची क्रिया वेगळी लक्ष घेऊन
Every being, every person, every animal, every person, the activities will be different.
तुकाराम याचं वागणं कुठं वागायचं नाही. शंकरासारखा संतान देऊन वागायचं नाही. आपल्यात काय आहे तेवढं
I don't want to imitate.
सहाय्य साधनाशिवाय अन्य अन्याच्या सहाय्य साधनाशिवाय
I don't want to imitate Shankara, one of the deities, nor like Krishna. Whatever spontaneously happening, let it happen.
माझ्या त्या आधी दुसरा कोणी होता मी जाणत म्हणून मी ते मंजूर करून आलो.
I do not believe that anybody did exist prior to me.
माझे अस्तित्व प्रकाशमान झाल्यानंतर माझ्या अस्तित्वाच्या आधी तर मी जाणत नाही.
When my beingness appeared, then only everything else is. Prior to my beingness, nothing was.
काय प्रणाचं काय बोलायचं आहे मला.
He is asking anything to say. He says nothing. The layers of acquaintances relating to the bodily self are not being obliterated. Layers on the self.
See me in the 5 G's traditionally described.
No, and the mind.
काय केलं
From bodily relation.
आपल्या ओळखीचा हे लेप शोधला जात नाही असं काय म्हटलं ते
हो नाही म्हणे.
ते बरोबर आहे.
जाते नाही सदा सर्व निर्लेपच आहे.
हो.
कोणत्याही कंपनीचा किंवा कर्म धर्माचा आता त्याला कधी डाग पडेल मला नाही पडलं. असं
Naturally, originally, I am without any stigma, uncovered by anything. I am not covered by anything. No stigma on me.
माझ्या आधीचा कोणी आहे यांनी ओळखलं नसल्यामुळे माझ्या आधीचा कोणी आहे कल्पना मी घेतली.
Since nobody did exist prior to me, I do not entertain any concept that somebody did exist prior to me.
प्राप्त देहाच्या आधी तर पुष्कळ आहे, पण देहाची कसली आहे त्याच्या आधीचं कोण आहे?
प्राप्त देहाच्या
प्राप्त देहाच्या आधीचं पुष्कळ आहे, प्राप्त देहाच्या आधीचं कोण आहे? प्राप्त देहानंतर.
हा असं everything is in the form of manifest world after the acquisition of this or after the appearance of the knowledge I am with the body, together with the body. Together with the body and the indwelling I amness, everything is. Prior to appearance of this body and the knowledge I am, what was there?
There was nothing.
काही नव्हतं.
It's, to put a time reference, as Maharaj just taught us, is not correct.
परमात्मा स्वरूप निर्णय आहे, आकाशाचा संबंध करावा लागत नाही. परमात्मा
The Paramatma Soul, the highest self, the core self, its identity is without any stigma. Even the sky cannot touch it. The space cannot touch it. Subtler than the space.
बंधू सूर्याचा प्रतिबिंब सुद्धा मनाने मळकट होत नाही, मूलबिंब कसं होणार? चंद्र सूर्याचे प्रतिबिंब सुद्धा गाडीच्या पाण्यामध्ये कशामध्ये मनाने मळकट होत नाही, मूलबिंब कसं मळकट होत?
It's just like the sunlight or the beams of the moon does not get dirty in dirty water. If that is the case, or that is the purity of the beams of the rays of the sun or the beams of the moon, what would be the purity of the self consciousness? That जुड़ेगा ही कैसे?
Going away.
That feels it.
Yeah, from yesterday they went scanning all around.
दोबारा बंद करा, फैन बंद करा. Which is an outcome of tobacco chewing.
Well, he said, tell them they were trying.
तो प्रयत्न करतो म्हणतो.
It depends, it's like everything else, it depends for how long it was indulged. No more than he can. I can't break the body's rules. Yeah.
शिवाय कसला माझ्याकडे दोष येणार नाही, तो दृष्टी नाही करतो. औषध आहे
तो किती वेळ लागेल म्हणून सांगता येते. हा देहाचा जो रोग प्रभाव आहे तो वाहत चाललाय, तो एकदम बंद करता येणं शक्य नाही.
You tell him he's got the best medicine anyhow. He's just calling it.
सगळ्यात उत्तम औषध आपल्याकडे आहे म्हणतो.
अरे देहाचा पहिला क्षण होता, मरता कशाला? देहाचा पहिला क्षण कशातून निर्माण त्यानं काय निर्माण झालं देहाचा पहिला क्षण?
He says, why are you dying? Understand that first moment when we understood we are. The first moment of the body, when it understood it is, recognize that first moment. Understand that first moment. Due to what? How?
एवढं तुम्हाला जाणलं गेलं असतं, मग तो परमेश्वर आहे.
Once you recognize, once you understand this, you are the Parmeshwara, you are the highest of the gods. This is understood.
जे जिथे उद्भवलंय तिथेच ते मावळते,
हो.
आणि जे उद्भवलेलं मावते जाणलं ते मावळते तू नव्हे, उद्भवले तू नव्हे. उद्भवले तेही तू नव्हे आणि मावळले तेही तू नव्हे. परमात्मा तो परब्रह्म परमेश्वर.
A soul at which point anything rises. At that very point, that thing sets also. The source and the end is the same point. So once you understand that point, you are relieved of that point. You get released from that point.
आत्मोद्भव कोणी जाणून नाही उभा नाही मला पण आत्मा उद्भव कोणी जाणून
Nobody tries to understand.
जाणवला जाणला तो उद्भव आपण नव्हे.
Oh. Nobody tries to understand this happening of the self, happening of this I amness. Once this happening of the I amness is understood, I the absolute am not this I amness.
काय ऐकलं त्यांच्या विचारावर
What did you hear? Just to confirm.
That when the practice of dwelling in this I amness reaches its fullness, there's no longer any containment by that sense of being a separate individual that is indicated by the words I am.
No, just know what he said. That did you understand?
Yes. That's my understanding. I may
तर
be
त्यांनी आता असं
wrong.
सांगितलं, मी आहे या जाणीवेमध्ये जास्त आपण एकरूप जेव्हा होणार, मी एक झालो, नंतर मी काही नाही हे समजलं जाईल असं म्हणतो. बरोबर.
सध्या तुला म्हणायला सतत हवं आहे.
He said, if you want to express yourself by words, this is the only way you are going to express.
म्हणून दाखवायचं म्हणून म्हणायचं म्हणजे तसंच म्हणणार जरी शब्दाचा उपयोग होणारच नाही.
See, this is the only way you can express through words. There is no other way.
सत्व म्हणजे पराशक्ती. सत्व म्हणजे पराशक्ती. परा म्हणजे आपण जगायचे, पर म्हणजे आपण जगायचे. म्हणून येणार पर म्हणजे आपण जगायचे पराशक्ती.
The quintessence, this I amness. The quintessence, the sattva is the quintessence. That is I amness. That is Parashakti. That is not I. I the absolute self. I am not that. That I amness is the quintessence of everything. That is I amness. The feeling I am. But I the absolute am not that.
अंतिम ज्ञानाचे विसर्जन.
Oh. This is that is the highest knowledge. That I amness is the highest knowledge. And this is surrendered here by the abidance in the absolute.
अशीच बोलणारे डुप्लिकेट तुला भेटणार नाही.
He is using the word duplicate. A duplicate like him who talks like this, you will not find elsewhere.
That's why I'm here. I've been looking for a long time.
म्हणून मी इकडे आलो आहे आणि मी ह्याच्या शोधार्थ फार दिवस होतो. You stumbled on them.
What's that? No. You remember that big thick book that was brought here by the devotees of this?
10th July 1980 morning.
10th July 1980 morning session begins.
अजून घे असं माझं म्हणणं आहे.
This is we have been listening to him. If you want any, there must be something you want clarified. Unless there is nothing at all, he said, then this is the time to get it clarified.
The only real questions that I have are not personal questions. I feel that he's made it abundantly clear to me, what my responsibilities are, what the practices that he teaches. Basically up to me to do it. Only, it's not questions here. There are certain statements, from the Gita, slokas from the Gita, or statements that other sages have made that I've read and felt to have been great significance. If he cares to, I'm interested in his comments on the instruction. Now, sloka from the Gita, I forget which chapter,
That might be,
but it goes like, it runs when the life force or the prana is restrained in the sahasrara and the mind becomes rested in the heart. Then the sadhaka
Will you please tell me?
runs when the life force or the prana is restrained in the sahasrara and the mind comes to rest and is contained in the heart. Then the sincere seeker attains liberation. This has always seemed to me one of the key slokas in the Gita, and yet a lot of its meaning, my limited experience, the attainment, eludes me, and I'd be very interested to hear Maharaj's
So
comments.
you have also experienced that?
I feel
Huh.
the life energy
Yes. Being
polarized in a very different way in my body and very intensified.
in Maharaj's presence.
Most certainly in his presence, yes. But it's rather than putting, attention on what happens up here and what happens down there, there's just this love that gets played upon in that context. But I am interested, in his comments or his views on this slope.
ती कशी आहे जगामध्ये सगळं प्राणी मात्र आहे सगळं ईश्वर प्रार्थना करतात एकूण प्राणी मात्र ईश्वर प्रार्थना करतात आणि त्याची कृपा वाढली तर हे सर्व होत आहे ते प्राण असेपर्यंत भाव निर्माण झाल्यापासून प्राण असेपर्यंत.
Maharaj says, every creature in the universe prays to a principle which he considers as God or whatever. But all this can only happen from the time the life force has awakened till the time the life force is no longer working.
ध्यान योगाने पंचप्राण शुद्ध होता.
And in meditation, by practicing meditation, this life force gets purified.
आणि हे आत्मज्ञाना म्हणतात की त्या अंगाचा प्रकाश निर्माण होतो पण तो प्राणाचाच पंचप्राण शुद्ध झाल्यानंतर आत्मज्ञान आपण म्हणतो त्याचा प्रकाश निर्माण होतो पण त्याचा चालक प्राणच आहे प्राणाला जे म्हणायचं आहे.
And when this life force gets purified, the self, the Atma, the light of the Atma shines forth. life of the Atma may shine forth, but the working principle is still the life force.
तो प्राण आणि आत्मा जैसे एक होता है, जैसे सगळ्या कल्पनेला मोक्ष होतो, कल्पनेचा मोक्ष होतो.
And when this life force and the purified life force and the light of the self merge in each other, then the concept or imagination, mind, everything is held in abeyance.
पण देवाची भक्ती करा, देवाची भक्ती करा मी सांगता साहित्य साधन आपल्याकडे काय आणि केवळ प्राण शकतो.
Oh. And when any guru, anyone tells to do some sadhana, with what can you do any sadhana of any kind? It can only be this life force. The only instrument one has to practice sadhana of any kind is this life force.
तर आपला प्राण प्रसन्न होण्याकरता त्याला ईश्वराचं नाव योग्य तर देऊन उपासना करतो.
And therefore, this instrument, this life force, instead of merely treating it as an instrument, it is to be treated, that is meant to accept it as the highest principle in the world. That is God, Paramatma, Ishwar, whatever you want to call it. So that when this life force is pleased, then it gets purified and merges with the light of the Atma.
उद्योग जो झाला, उपजी झाली आहे ते प्राणाची आहे, कोणा देवाची आहे.
So what has been created? The creation of what is the creation? Is it the creation, whatever has been created, is it the creation of God or is it the creation of this life force?
ज्या नावाने पंचप्राण अणून सिद्ध होतं आणि त्याच्या ठिकाणी देव नावाची योग्यता म्हणजे ज्ञान प्रकाश पाहणे.
By practicing meditation diligently and continuously, this life force gets so purified that it attains divinity. It is a divinity.
विचारायला सुचतो का?
At this point, are there any questions? नाही, आपण आणखी सांगाल ते ऐकायला.
देव म्हणून प्राण म्हणून देव त्याच्याशी एक रूप होतो.
He says, understand this, life force is God and God is life force, and be one with this.
प्राणेश्वर आहे तोपर्यंत जगदीश्वर आहे. जगदीश्वर आहे म्हणून प्राणेश्वर आहे. तो प्राणेश्वर आणि जगदीश एकच आहे हा निश्चय झाला म्हणजे तो मुक्त झाला कोणत्याही म्हणे कल्पनेपासून.
So when this life force and the highest principle become one by your meditation, then whatever is reached by this merge means the moksha or whatever you choose to call it, awakening or liberation, call it what you love.
मोक्ष म्हणजे उपाधी गुणधर्म संपले. आणि मोक्ष म्हणजे काय?
उपाधी
गुणधर्म संपले म्हणजे मोक्ष.
So he says, what is liberation? What is moksha? That this subjection to the gunas and everything, all the other upadhis,
Conditioning. Conditioning.
all the conditioning obstruction connected with the individual, all that disappears. That is liberation. He says, what is liberation? End of all conditions.
प्राणामध्ये जाणीव गुण आहे तोच आत्मा, तो विचार तोच देव आणि चालक शक्ती प्राण आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये जाणीव म्हणून जो आहे तो ईश्वर रूप म्हणायचं.
He makes it again clear that this life force is the acting principle. And that which gives sentience to the person is this conscience, the consciousness.
This is what the traditional imagery of Shiva and Shakti always believe is one of the... No, look.
म्हणजे शिवशक्ती म्हणतात ते याचं हेच काम आहे.
शिव म्हणजे जाणवतं ज्ञान.
हो, शिव मीन द कॉन्शियसनेस.
ज्ञान स्पर्श आपण असल्याचा जो आहे
हो,
तो शिव.
हो,
काय आणि त्याची सर्व व्यवहार जो होतो आहे प्राणामध्ये ते सब
ईश्वर. Shiva is that consciousness, a speck of consciousness. And the working principle, that is the life force, is the Shakti.
शिव म्हणून आपण असं जाणीव आपल्याला पकडून आहे. तो शिव आहे.
हो.
आणि कार्यकारी शक्ती आहे जी प्राण शक्ती आहे. शिव आणि शक्ती म्हणून आत्मा. आत्मा म्हणजे प्राण आणि गुण. आत्मा म्हणजे प्राण आणि गुण. मग त्यांना आणखी लाखो नाव आहेत.
हो.
नावात मागे सगळं जास्त आहे. त्याच्या मुलाशी काय कोणी बघत.
You see, people only go by the various names that have been thrown up and forget the basic principle. And that is the consciousness and the working principle of the prana. That is, this consciousness and the prana, life force, together is Atma.
जिथं प्राण नाही तिथं गुण नाही म्हणजे शिव नाही. कारण शक्ती नाही, शिवशक्ती नाही. तेव्हा काळेमध्ये असलेलं अंतःकरण आपली क्रिया. काळेमध्ये असलेले अंतःकरण म्हणजे आपली क्रिया.
You see, within the body, the consciousness and the working principle, that is the prana. We call it antahkaran, psyche.
आत्मनी क्रिया चालू आहे ते अंतःकरण. आत्मनी आहे तो अंतरात्मा. अंतरात्मा म्हणजे प्राण आणि गुण. प्राण असेपर्यंत गुण असेल, गुण असेल तोपर्यंत प्राण असेल. प्राण गेला की गुण गेला. मावळ जगात त्याला शब्द आहे मेला. त्याची सत्ताचं स्वरूप त्याची कसे आहे तो गुण मावळला.
People call somebody is dead. So he said, what has happened? The life force is gone. And the principle behind the life force, that is this consciousness, that has also disappeared. That is all that has happened.
तू मुद्दा मारलाय माझ्या भरता तुला करताय अंतर्यामीचे अंतःकरण मोकळं करता बाजूला पुढे करता. त्या लोकांना नाही सांग. त्यांना सांगणं ज्ञान मागो. म्हणजे काय करा तुम्ही ध्यान करा. मी ब्रह्म आहे म्हणून ध्यान करा. जेव्हा ते पंचप्रमाण शुद्ध होतील तेव्हा ते ब्रह्म तुमच्याशी बोलेल. तुम्ही जाणीवाल. मी शिकवणार नाही.
Maharaj says he has been explaining the principle, analyzing all this, all these years. But from now on, the principle behind that, he doesn't have either the energy or the inclination at the moment to explain all. So he will only now say what is to be done, if anything. And the only thing to be done is nothing to be done as is generally expected by the word do, but merely to sit in contemplation and let the consciousness unfold itself, unfold the knowledge about itself.
पण हा लांबून आलाय याच्यासाठी मुद्दाम करतोय असं म्हणाले तर त्यांना बरं वाटेल त्याला.
आणि दुसऱ्यांना काय पाहिजे?
त्याची फोन वेगळी आहे.
हा हे म्हणून
So he said, now that you have done a certain amount of work, homework, you see, that is why he says he's still explaining whatever he is doing.
पब्लिक सांगतोय
हो,
ईश्वर भक्ती करा, ईश्वराचं ध्यान करा. ईश्वर होऊन जा. पण हे आतली अंग खोलून कोणी दाखवत नाही.
हो.
आतला अंग सूक्ष्म अंग उघडून कोणी दाखवत नाही. हे पण दाखवणार.
What do most people do? They explain only the surface position on the surface. And they say you do dhyan and it's the meditation. And in the meditation itself, your consciousness will unfold whatever knowledge is to be unfolded. But they don't go to the bottom of the thing, to the root of the matter, and explain the principle, which he has been doing all these years. He also will stop doing for other reasons.
राज आणि त्याचा अर्थ त्याच्यामध्ये जो भाग चालायचा आहे गीता म्हणजे काय तो गायला म्हणजे बोलला त्या बोलाचे अर्थ शिवाय गीता काय
So he said, what is Gita? He said, Gita is a song by Lord Krishna. And Gita, song is that is words. And those words are the Gita.
काय विचारायचं
So what is it that you want to ask about the Gita? Because something else. You asked for one verse.
Have a lot of questions about the Gita. It just seemed to me that epitomized some of the things that Maharaj has been saying to me very graciously over the last few days. I just wanted to hear his comments on that. I read Gita quite a number of years ago, and until I discovered Maharaj, it seemed much more important to me to read the words of a sage that
गीता त्यांनी बऱ्याच वर्षापूर्वी वाचली होती आणि आता आपलं पुस्तकच वाचलं.
July 10th, 1980, morning session continued.
गीता त्यांनी बऱ्याच वर्षापूर्वी वाचली होती आणि आता आपलं पुस्तकच वाचतोय. पण ते गीतेतलं तो एकच त्यातला तो श्लोक त्यांना आठवला आणि तो आपण जे सांगतात त्याच्यावरून तो श्लोक आहे म्हणून त्याने तो श्लोक
त्या लोकांचा अर्थ काय सांग
So he said, what meaning have you understood from that verse which you have mentioned? What have you understood?
Is done properly in the way that he instructs us. The first thing that becomes apparent is that this consciousness that is usually spread in 1,000 different directions by our daily activities and what we usually tend to do, first of all, starts to get a greater sense of itself and then witnesses what arises. At the same time, the body's energy as a consequence becomes intensified too. And it seems to be polarized, in a vertical dimension. I can't explain it any better than that. The other thing that happens seems to be part of the purification of that he was talking about, is that we often have
He is asking me the meaning of the word. Words as you have understood it.
Well, that's
The meaning of it.
That's what I've said. That's what I understand by the meaning. Feel that many of the Upanishads and Gita talk about the heart as the seat of the soul, or where the soul enters this body being, as something that's prior for this whole vertical dimension, in which the life force moves. And even the life force eventually gets resolved into the center that really is without a center, in the sight. Maharaj he talked about consciousness as a tiny seed. From that tiny seed, not only our body being, but the world, which we see, even the whole universe, has a seed in this tiny seed. When dhyan is directed, the tendency of consciousness is reversed through dhyan back into the center. Then that knowledge of that becomes resolved and the life force becomes purified. It also, once again, reabsorbed.
जाणीवेमुळे जे लक्ष बाहेर जात होतं ते सगळं आत कोंडलं जातं आणि ते जाणीवेमध्ये आणखीन ते प्राणशक्ती दोन्ही एक होतात असा त्याचा अर्थ तो समजतो.
ब्रह्मज्ञानामध्ये बोलला जातो लहान ब्रह्मज्ञानामध्ये बोलला जातो याला तो समाधी नको.
And when this consciousness and the prana shakti, that is the life force, when they merge, they tend to go and and be steady in the Brahmana. You see? And then, as he said, all thoughts cease, even the thought that you are sitting in meditation. And that is the start of the samadhi.
ब्रह्मानंदामध्ये प्राण पोहोचला म्हणजे विसर पडतो नंतर ती अमुक वेळापर्यंत राहील नंतर त्या तिथं उष्णता निर्माण होईल ती खाली उतरेल उत्थान
He said that state will remain for a while, and then whatever has reached one will come down again, and then the normal behavior in the world will start. That is, the life force will start its normal work of activity.
आता मला आजार झाला व्याधी आहे प्राण आणि गुणावर आहे
हो
प्राण आणि गुण नसताना व्याधी कोण भोगणार
हो
आणखी मी आता त्यांना जाणला मी त्यांनी पलीकडे गेलेला प्राण आणि गुणाच्या पलीकडे आहे प्राण आणि गुण अनंत गुणाने अनंत रूपाने ऋषी आहे पण मी त्याचा जाणता गुण मला रंगरूप नाही आहे तिकडच्या विभागाप्रमाणे औषध पाणी करू त्या गुण आणि प्राणाचे रक्षण करणे कर्तव्य आहे म्हणून नाते मला प्राणाची गरज नाही ज्ञानाची गरज नाही
Maharaj says that this disease that he has, the illness, he says, so what has this illness come? He said the illness has come to this consciousness and the working principle, that is the life force. These two are concerned with that illness. And he apart from it, he is not concerned with it. But he says it is the duty to keep that life force in reasonably good working condition. And that is why the medicine is taken. Same way the normally the food is taken in order to keep this consciousness and the life force working condition. So medicine is like the food, to keep the life function in working condition. As far as he is concerned, being apart from it, he is not concerned really whether this life function and the consciousness, whether they work or not. Apart from being in working condition, whether they work or not, he is not really concerned. He is apart from it, and beyond it, and prior.
शुद्ध शुद्ध प्राण शुद्ध झाला म्हणून त्याला ईश्वरली पदवी येते
This is the life force and the consciousness are not really two. But as a concept, they are treated as two, but they are really the same thing.
उपजला आहे तो प्राण उपजला आहे आणि त्याच्यात गुण गुण त्याच्यामध्ये मिसळलेला आहे म्हणून त्याचा जन्म झाला
As soon as a form is created, the life force is infused in that form. And when the life force is infused in a form, gets infused in a form, the consciousness is automatically there. Because without the consciousness, that form plus life force would not have sentience.
प्राणामध्ये जर गुण मिसळलेला नसेल तर तो प्राण कसं आहे पाडण्यासारखं तुम्ही नाव सांगतो गुण आपण मध्ये जो वाढली जातो त्याच्यात गुण आहे का तो गुण नसताना प्राण असा आहे आणि गुण असला म्हणजे तो आपला ईश्वर आहे प्राण ईश्वर आहे प्राण ईश्वर आहे असं कोण मानत नाही
So understand this difference. There is a physical form and the life force. But in the absence of this consciousness, the body will be technically alive. But that life force within the body, he says, what is the use of it? It's like a gas coming out of the anus. It has no meaning, it has no function.
Apart from consciousness.
Other than this, unless there is consciousness. So it is this consciousness which gives this life force, which would otherwise be merely air, that which makes it a sentient being.
आता आम्हाला पत्र येतात जवळ वाचून तुम्ही आणि आम्ही एकच आहोत तुम्ही तुम्हाला ओळखले तुम्ही मला ओळखलं तुम्ही दोन सांगितलं आहात म्हणजे काय आहे तर त्या प्राणामध्ये पुन्हा मी आश्रय घेऊन ते आपण याचा अर्थ घेतला म्हणून त्याच्या प्राण समजण्यात त्यांना होणार नाही हे वेगळं आहे.
He said, people write to him. See that they write thanking him for the guidance. And they said they now understand that although physically you and I are separate, we know that we are one. See, he said all that is a superficial knowledge which has been obtained by the consciousness when it has realized that it is not the body. But it is only at that stage that the knowledge has remained.
Knowledge has remained.
At that stage, that is in words they write. But they really haven't reached this gone
So they've just
beyond.
replaced some concepts with other concepts, that's what he's saying.
Yes. So that they haven't raised the so long as that concept I am is still there. You see, they are not gone beyond the prior to it. That is why he said, consider what you were before you were born, like before the I is born. There they consider total manifestation. And therefore, to that extent, there is no difference. But they haven't gone beyond the total manifestation.
त्यांच्याबरोबर ज्ञान पद्धतीने बोलणं स्वरूप पद्धतीने नाही बोलणं.
Yes. You see, this is what he is saying. So now when people come here, he talks with them. From what level is he talking? He is talking from the level that you are consciousness and not the body, as far as we are concerned. So he is taking whatever comes out is from total manifestation, not from the point of view of the absolute.
पण ज्ञान चैतन्य हे ज्ञान चैतन्य घर ज्ञान चैतन्य हो एवढं सांगणार.
So he will merely say that hang on to that consciousness, which is your only capitalization. You see? And do dhyana and hang on to that and let that unfold whatever knowledge has to be unfolded.
शब्द निर्माण होता आणि शब्द जे बोलतात ते मन मला तो शब्द निर्माण होता आणि शब्द जे बोलतात ते मन अज्ञानी काय ते जाणत नाही. अज्ञानी ज्याच्या निर्माण राहतो म्हणून त्याला ते कळणार नाही.
The ignorant man has identified himself with his body. And therefore he says he will not understand the real principle of it. And he says, what is the principle? He said the life force works. And from the life force, whatever words come up, he said, what is mind other than that? He said, mind is the words which are forthcoming from the life force. That is itself the mind.
त्याच्यामुळे लोक आलेल्या आजाराने बसू शकतो. मला पण बोला घेऊ शकतो. आता काय हे म्हणाले आता जातो जा हे दोघे जण म्हणतात नाही कांती ती अवस्था वेगळी आणि ही अवस्था ती किती वेगळी सांगा.
He said previously, he had an intense desire to impart knowledge. You see? So when people came and he found that someone was interested, very interested in it, he also would may even suggest that since you are interested, stay for 4 or 5 days or a week long. So that those who have made plans to leave would change their plans and stay on. But he said that was some time ago in the past. Now, if someone says he's going to leave in the evening, he will say leave now.
बस में काय राय देता नहीं ना जन्म झालेला काय आहे पचाता होत व्याप्त काय व्याप्त झाले व्यक्त जे होते ते व्याप्त झालं आहे सगुण हो परिपणे सगुण व्यक्त तिने व्यापक झालं मला ते धर्म झालं किती येतात मी जातात व्यापकामध्ये याचा त्याला लब्धाच आहे ना
Try to impart knowledge is gone. And he gives an example. He says in a caravanserai, the traveler's bungalow, people will come and go. He says that the traveler's bungalow itself is not concerned whether someone stays for an hour or for 10 days. The bungalow itself is not concerned with it. As manifestation.
आपण माझा लब्धांश नाही जोपर्यंत आलेकडे मध्ये माझा लब्धांश होता नाही जाती तोपर्यंत ते होतो आता लब्धांश नाही आता नवं पण धर्मशाळा आहे
Maharaj is finished. And now it's back.
आता माझं मन करण्याचा विषय आहे हे शब्द याच्यामध्ये माझा अभ्यास काय आहे हो आता जो शब्द बोलला याच्यामध्ये माझा लब्धांश काय आहे असं करता करता शब्द सगळं निघून जातो लब्धांश दाखव ना तू इथे येऊन बस म्हटलं ते लब्धांश नसलं पाहिजे की ना ते कशाला बस म्हणाल बरोबर आहे राजे लब्धांश जातो त्याला हात मारा कसे अरे हा रस्ता कुठे गेलेला त्याला कुठे कमी लब्धांश शब्दांच्या शब्दाची मला गरज काय म्हणजे मनाची मला आता गरज नाही समज
There was a link. Now, if someone asks someone to want to talk something or he wants to ask something, he wants something from him. There is a connection of someone wanting something and someone conveying something. So now, since that even that link has gone, now he has no interest at all of either kind, of any kind.
लक्षात आलं का तुमचं
Have you understood this? Now there is no mind at all. The mind to create a link between him and anything else. Now that mind has totally disappeared.
संसार मन कोणत्याही प्रकाराने निसर्गी मारून
The mind cannot have an independent existence where a jnani is concerned, a sage is concerned.
आता या बाहेर उठलं कुठे पण योग्यता सगळी चांगली आहे हे जी आहे आता आमच्याकडे येऊन त्यांना ज्ञान झालंय आता ज्ञान झाल्यानंतर तुम्हाला काही यायची गरज नाही तुमच्या वेळेला माझा लभ्यांश काय असेल ते सांगतो राहू नका हा बरोबर आहे
पण ज्याचं असतं ते येतात मला
ते नाही मी सांगत कोणी कोणाला आपला म्हणतो लभ्यांशाला म्हणतोय कोणत्या प्रकारचा
लभ्यांश
कारणाची गोष्ट तर लभ्यांशात त्याला कोणी हे म्हणेल किंवा त्याला जोडून राहील
So people
त्याला समजावा
So he said, people come here. When someone goes to somewhere, there is a purpose. The purpose may be for acquiring something worldly. In this case, the purpose is to acquire the spiritual. So whatever the purpose, as far as he is concerned, they come, they acquire something, the knowledge. Then he says, if you have acquired knowledge, we will say, I've got my knowledge now. Thank you very much, and he goes. So he said, if I ask him to stay, it means that I have some purpose in asking him to stay. The purpose may be good, bad, purpose may be worldly, unworldly. But there's bound to be a purpose if I ask him to stay. But I have no purpose. You see? So he goes, he goes. If he stays, so the lady says, but the other person, this I'm not concerned with the other person. I'm talking of one point, one end of it, not the other.
सगळं केलं तसं काय बोला गेलाय पैसा निघाला पण मला मला त्याच्यात लढावच लागेल
Oh,
त्याचे वाढवून नका म्हणू
he gives an example. There is this.
असं दिल बाबा ते मुलांना काय देणगी देतात घर बांधण्याकर ते घेतील ते केले माझा संबंध नाही त्याचा मला पुढे आता घरादाराची गरज नाही घरादाराची गरज नाही एवढंच नाही पण मला देवाची गरज नाही तो जगाची त्याच्याने शक्ती आहे मी चैतन्याचा वेगळा घेतो आणि वेगळा घेतो
Maharaj gives an example. You know, there is this Adhyatma Kendra, which is a body created for this person or popularizing knowledge which is given by Maharaj. So I said, there is that center, but I have no interest in that center. What the center does or whether the center exists or does not exist, I have no interest. So now they said they have accumulated some money, they are going to give it to my family to build a house. So whether they do it or not, and whether what the family does with it, he said, I have no interest. He said, I don't need even a house to live in. As a matter, he said, what is more, I don't need any God either. I have no need of any kind.
तरी आम्ही काय मतलब कळला नाही ना मी कोण आहे आणि काय माझा मतलब काय आहे मी कोण आहे मला मी काय समजतो माझा मतलब काय आहे समजलं
He said, have you understood what I am talking about? Have you understood my true nature?
I feel there's also a great paradox here in the sense that ever since I've been here with him, despite his words, showered his grace upon me in terms of instruction, I can only witness, what has happened from my point of view, and I feel very, very blessed. And yet, he's saying that he has no interest in it. Maybe not a personal interest, but somehow he's still moved the showers upon his destruction of the sea. Now, during the people get absorbed in that. There's something very different about a true stage in a yogi that gets more and more absorbed, becomes more and more otherworldly. Somehow he's broken through all of that, and his presence seems very ordinary, very normal, but in mind, and yet at the same time, constantly he's in a state of bliss, of awareness that is beyond our comprehension, and yet there's this paradox of complete relief in ordinary appearance. It just doesn't seem to be explained, by more and more subtle probing at all.
त्यावेळेला मला जे सुखपात होईल आणि आवडेल का करणार असं व्यसन तर मला काही नाही रांजीजी हे बंधन नाही तर एकच मला बंधन मला प्राणाची गुणाची गरज नाही आहे आणि हा प्रश्न निबंधलेला प्राणावर माझ्यावर नाही सांगा जणांनी काय म्हणलं
This was a letter from his doctor, 6 away. He's been a specialist in cancer. He's been using his medicine. So now he has written now, saying that this shouldn't be done, that shouldn't be done, this shouldn't be done, this should be done. So list of do's and don'ts. So now Maharaj says, I'm not concerned in keeping this life force alive. He said, I'm not concerned with it, because whatever disease has not come on me, but it has come on this being. So, this is from now on, the do's and don'ts will be only according to whatever that life force feels like doing. And I shall not accept either the do's or the don'ts from the doctor. So whatever the life force feels like doing, it will do it. Whatever the beingness wants to do, it will do. And either with the life force or the beingness.
આવા પણ નિર્ણય છે રાજાજીને નિર્ણય છે સંતો
The person who sends the doctor's medicine will mention a number of sages who have suffered from the same disease, or whose bodies have been suffering from the same disease.
We must make them ones of all, including God, the and cancer, Ramakrishna. He's explained it. The reason they got it is because of what they find, things that come very cruel, and they suddenly they're putting to Maharaj. Like any credence in that at all? It seems a terrible burden to have to bear.
देह म्हणजे पूर्वजन्मीचं काहीतरी जन्म राहिलं होतं त्यामुळे त्या देहाला जे काय आलं ते देह नव्हे मला पूर्वजन्मचा अनुभव नाही मला नॉट एक्सेप्ट या जन्माचा मला अनुभव नाही तयार होऊन नंतर मला अनुभव आला आहे जन्म झाल्याचा अनुभव नाही आहे हे सगळं तयार होऊन झाल्यानंतर मला अनुभव आला याला जन्म वाटतं लोकांना याला जन्म असं लोकांना सांगितलं I have no experience only got as far as I am concerned. Only at the certain stage I was told that this has been born and this is me. That's what I've been told. That is hearsay. I have no experience of any kind of birth at any time. वाटतं उष्णपूर्ण बाण जाऊ नये स्वाभाविक जावं या पद्धतीने मला काय झालं आज वाढल्याने घुसमोरून वाढलं तसं जाऊ नये स्वाभाविक केव्हा जावं तर म्हणजे काय मला माझ्याकरता जगणे म्हणजे काय आणि जगण्याने जगामध्ये सोय की तो लाभ म्हणून काय आहे जगण्याने जगामध्ये सोयीचे तो लाभ म्हणून काय आहे अज्ञानाला पुष्कळ आहे जगाला लाभ काय It is for the ignorant man who will want to live as long as he can. He will like to postpone his moment of death as far as possible. But it is for a jnani, what kind of benefit can he expect of any kind by existing in the world even a minute longer? It is the only thing that it would be a nice thing to happen is for the rest to live in a quietness and not make a fuss about it. Jnani मतलब कौन? Jnani गुणात्मक साक्षी. So who is a jnani? He said the jnani is that principle which witnesses the life force and the consciousness. Jnani गुणात्मक jnani. Jnani is not the body of the and the life force. Jnani गुण गुण माया मत तत्व जो ब्रह्म प्राण consciousness and life force together, they may be given the highest name, that is the Atma or the Ishvara, whatever, they can give it the highest name, but the Jnani is not even that. Jnani is attacked even from that high state. मला झालं ज्ञान तू काय की बोलणं कोणी विचार ना ज्ञाना गुण कर्म तुझ्या कोण काही माझी समोर आहे having understood what consciousness and the life force is, he has never gone to anyone and asked whether what I consider is it right or wrong. They were taken according to the level of the आज जगह के करने लगभग काही नाही जाणार
आणि हीच माहिती बदल कधी करायचं नाही चांगलं म्हणजे understood what the whole point is, there's no need for you to stay any longer. And as far as he is concerned, he has understood this life force and this consciousness. He doesn't have any interest at all in either of those happenings. But he has very many people have been talking and he has been talking. Why has he been talking? It is the lifespan has to be spent, has to be used. I mean, that is very entertaining. Something has to be. This is entertaining. You will do what entertaining. While the time away. The lifespan away. परमात्मा भावाने पालक असतो काय आहे परमात्मा इट इज द मेन is giving of knowledge. That is the main. But what is the gain? He says game of cards, entertainment. The game is spiritual knowledge. The game is cards. व्यायाम काय त्याच्यावर आपल्याला व्यायाम व्यायाम म्हणलं कोण आहे तुमच्या काय काही लब्धा त्याच्याकडे आपला म्हणजे याच्यात काहीतरी मार्ग आहे telling the lady, now you have understood, so you don't have to come. So he said, if I ask someone to come, it is common sense that I want him to come for some reason. That he may bring me some money, or he may write some book about me, or he may do something which may be for my benefit. Only then will I ask someone to come. But there is nothing of that kind here. Either body or anybody.
तुमच्या पत्त्याच्या डावाला दुर्री लागते ना तुम्ही पत्त्याच्या डावाला दुर्री तिर्री लागते ना त्यातली मी एक आहे काय तुम्ही
आपण जे करमणूक करतात तेव्हा आम्हाला फार आवडतं तेव्हा आम्हाला फार आवडतं भाषा उद्योग भाषा उद्योग The name and the person is the spiritual name. But the brain is the star. No, my mother had cards. Never had any good. No wonder me. Cards. Never had any good. No wonder me. बच्चे कधी खेळलोच नाही त्याच्यात never got beyond snap. हे जगात नाही बघतो का हो आता अंगडी मध्ये बघतो घेतो बघतो पत्ते people come in with commuters. They have their foursome. They get in a particular station. And four of them sit and start playing cards. आता जा म्हणतो आता कळलं तो लक्षात व्हायला लागेल whatever you have heard, and you understood and will it stay with you. And if it will, then he honestly says, we need for you to come to me. There is not preventing you from coming. But you need not. Come with you.
$1,000 less, say 5 days. For 6 days, which I originally planned.
फक्त आपला सहवास घेण्याकरता आपण सांगता ते ऐकण्याकरता तुम्हाला चांगला आहे So he says the lady is spiritual seeking is of a high order. ओळखीची सोन्याची बेळी बनलेली आहे काय पाहणार पण बेळी बनली आहे सोन्याची आता सोन्याच्या ओळखीची चला The lady has golden bond
of the filial and family affection.
प्रश्न करायचे उत्तर देतो त्याला
If the questions are asked, answers come out, the whole thing is entertaining.
भारी जनता बघा चालू घेऊन त्यांच्या म्हणण्याप्रमाणे उपाशी मागणार नाही
If you don't have coffee, don't have this, you may reduce it. But it's testing a little bit, stop it altogether.
सगळं केलं ना
And if you work for it, you don't need to be alive longer, isn't it?
कसलं काय आहे जिवंत राहण्याचं माझे गेले कसे होतात काय पाहत
Because even Vishnu, Brahma, Mahesh, they have also had their life span. So this is very about good.
10th July 1980, evening session begins.
ज्ञान चैतन्य ज्ञान चैतन्य म्हणजे कुठे चैतन्य म्हणजे वायू वायूशिवाय कुठे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये ज्ञान म्हणून ते चैतन्य ज्ञान त्याच्यामध्ये अधिक काय नाही चैतन्य ज्ञान चैतन्य ज्ञान आपलं हे काय असं होत गेलं तुम्ही त्याला आणखी आणखी करायचं ज्ञान होतं तुम्ही त्याचं निमित्त होऊ जसं ज्ञान अधिक होईल तसं प्राणी निमित्त होऊन जातो
When you understand that this consciousness, Jnana Chaitanya, knowledge consciousness is your form. When you have that identification slowly, your conviction about that increases, then that you have become slowly desireless. That you give up all desire slowly, they drop off. दुसरं मग ते सांगितलं की चांदीची जर आपण ही घातली तर त्याच्यामध्ये दोष आहे म्हणून चांदीची जर आपण ही घातली तर त्याच्यामध्ये एक प्रकारचा त्या शक्तीला अडथळा येतो म्हणे आणि ते सोन्याच्या नंतर काही होत नाही म्हणे सोन्याचा पूरक आहे चांगला आहे ते काय कळत नाही
सोनं निर्दोष होईल
हा सोनं निर्दोष So it means that you said mentioned about silver and gold. It means that they were
काहीतरी कमी बोलणार मला नको आहे व्यवस्था कमी अशा अवस्था निर्माण करता येते का
If you buy your medicine, you generate it, buy medicine, can you give a tolerable condition?
Can you what?
To suffer, it's peaceful. Or you tolerate the disease peaceful. That's what it is.
What I'm saying. You can't make a universal law. In my experience, yes, this can happen.
एक प्रकारचा मिळून असू शकत नाही
I said, first is the fact that pain is there. Pain is there at the time of death. If the disease is severe, the pain is more severe. So, death is, we must have a death without pain.
most of the great sages in India, many great sages, they died of cancer.
We were talking about
Ramchari Paramahansa,
Ramana Maharaj.
Ramana Maharaj, and quite a few. Now we had one sage some 3 centuries back, known by name Tukaram.
I was going to ask him about that.
He was doing bhajan,
Yeah.
and at the last moment he just disintegrated into nothingness. No pain, no body, nothing. Only he left only probably sandals and that satar, that instrument, string instrument he left. And he just disappeared among such small congregation. By doing bhajan only he disappeared. We have got some 3-4 sages we know of, who just 3-4 sages like this, like Tukaram, who just disappeared. Mirabai was another. He merged into the idol. Then in south also there was another sage in the south. He merged into the idol.
That great singing stage, what was his name?
Oh yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Bengal. He went to Puri and he merged into the idol. No remnant. So I said that is the best time. And if they could pass on that skill to all of us, we would be very grateful.
What did he say? The story I heard about Tukaram was not that he decided to die, but that he was with his disciples and he was so disgusted with their lack of response to his teaching that he said, I'm going to leave you, and went into this little room. And there was only one door into this room. There were no windows, nothing. And all the devotees were sitting outside the door. And they went inside.
He was like our Tukaram. Gotcha. They took Samadhi. Samadhi means something. In the initial stages of spirituality, it is necessary to keep oneself alive. But having understood what is what, you come to the conclusion that death is also an illusion. Death is also illusion. ज्ञान होते ना जरा इच्छा असा शांत Jnani is one who abides in absolute. Who is absolute only? The Jnani who has understood and realized and transcended this consciousness does not want to prolong the life of consciousness. A Jnani leaves consciousness to its own self, to its own nature, to spontaneity. It doesn't interfere. ज्ञानाला कोणी आत्मसंधी आहे असं नाही असं नाही. About a Jnani, nobody can say he has relatives. All could be relatives or none could be relatives. Only Jnani knows that everything is not, everything will not be, and everything is never. जब तक तो व्यापक तो जब तक वो यहाँ बैठेंगे Jnani, we are liquidated because there is no he also. For a Jnani, he term is also not applicable. He is applicable for an individual. So for a Jnani, individuality is liquidated completely. It only manifests consciousness
which is ample and plenty for Vijnana. Only a consciousness, association of consciousness is there together with its manifestation.
You're saying that he's saying there's no identification.
A jnani, he has transcended consciousness, but the association of consciousness is there. So consciousness means manifestation, which I am manifestation.
11th July 1980 morning.
July 11th, 1980, morning session begin.
What when studying there, when studying yoga, or when studying the meditation? बुद्धिस्ट लोकांचे जे मेडिटेशन आहे म्हणजे ध्यान ते करत होतं ते गुरु बाबला माताने करू शकतो यू वर डूइंग इट युअरसेल्फ और यू हैड सम गुरु
Well, I stay more or less. I have some friends by myself that I came to office from second nearby.
But you had some teachers,
Yes, yeah.
एक होता कोणी पण जवळ तिला आता राहतो जंगलामध्ये तिथे जवळपास मित्र आहेत थोडे मित्राचे सहज राहतो प्राणाचा अभ्यास केला आत्माचा अभ्यास केला What did you study there? Did you study about the vital force or did you study about the Atma? Atma himself.
The Atman. The Buddhist system is
बुद्धिस्ट जो है थोडं आपल्याला शोध वेगळा आहे ते कसं समजेल व्हॉट इज दॅट